While I had my camera out, I thought I'd just do a quick video on these magnesium bar fire starters. I've used these before, but I don't normally use them. I mean, let's be realistic. Bic lighters and waterproof matches actually are easier to use, but it's always good to know how to use one of these things, and they will start fires. They have two parts to these bars. Now this one is made by Doan, D-O-A-N. That's one of the better brands of these, and it's the brand I'd recommend that you get. This part here, this silver colored part, is magnesium metal. Now magnesium metal burns at an extremely high temperature. It's very hard to get lit though, so when it's in a big piece like this, it's very safe. But once you shave it off into small pieces, then you've got something that's pretty combustible. So you've got the magnesium part here, and then this side of it has got glued into it a flint striker. Now when you buy the Doan bars, you get the bar, and that's it. The bar has a hole drilled in it. What I did with the little piece of paracord was I got a section of a used hacksaw blade, and hacksaw blades conveniently have holes drilled in them anyway, so you can tie them together like this. So the way I use this is I take the toothy part of the hacksaw blade, and you start shavings off this bar until you've got a pile of shavings, maybe the size of, let's say, a quarter. And it helps if you can do it on like a piece of paper so that you can collect them all together. And then what you got to do, now you got your pile of magnesium, you've got to have your tinder ready. Now I'm going to do a demo for you. I'm going to use a piece of birch bark off my next door neighbor's tree. Don't worry, you won't miss it. It's constantly shedding this stuff anyway. Birch bark burns like crazy, and it'll even burn when it's wet because the water doesn't soak in. So what you got to do is you got to get all set with your pile of shavings, then you strike some sparks into it, and then I usually use this end. Once it starts burning, you use this end to sort of stir it up a little bit, and when it gets white hot, then you got to touch something combustible to it. So I'm going to take this piece of birch bark, and you'll see me, once those magnesium shavings start burning white hot, I'm going to touch this on there, and you'll see how quickly it bursts into flames. Okay, I've moved outside. I'm doing this outside because this magnesium powder burns with a real sooty flame. So there's my magnesium shavings. I shaved them off using the toothy side of this hacksaw blade. This is the striker side, so you can use the toothy section of the hacksaw blade to strike off sparks like that. Now as soon as the sparks go down here, you can stir this up a little bit to make sure that it's burning good, and as soon as it is, you just touch your tinder onto it. Here we go. Let's see what happens. There you go. So you've got to have your fire all set. You've got to have your kindling ready. You've got to have your tinder. In this case, I'm using birch bark, which also burns with a very sooty flame. That's how you can use the magnesium fire starters.